We got ourselves a fantasy MLR rookie on our hands, but he's certainly not a rookie when it comes to playing in Major League Rugby. Longtime MLR player and friend of the show, Andrew Coe, joins us to talk about the build-up to MLR 2026 and also address some rumblings that maybe he'll be participating in fantasy MLR this upcoming season. We ask him the question. The Fantasy Rucker Show starts right now.
Where rugby and the world of fantasy sports collide. Welcome to the Fantasy Ruckers Show, bringing fantasy rugby to the masses, talking all things rugby from the MLR to leagues around the world. We're on top of it. Headphones on, pads off. This is the Fantasy Ruckers Show. Now, here are your hosts, Ryan Yee, Matt Yee, and Devin Vanderpool.
What's up, everybody? This is episode 180 of the Fantasy Ruckers Show. Thank you so much to our Fantasy Ruckers League members, our community members, and everyone else tagging along on this journey of making fantasy rugby a reality in MLR with you each and every single week. I'm Ryan Yee, Matt Yee here with me. We're going to hear from Devin Vanderpool in just a bit, and we got a special episode. A rookie's in the house, Maddie. A rookie is in the house. Friend of the show, Andrew Coe, as a special little announcement for us in terms of what he will be doing this upcoming 2026 year when it comes to maybe dabbling a little bit in the world of fantasy MLR. So, Maddie, good to have you. When you hear that, does that excite you? And moreover, all of that, how's it going, man?
Good, man. Yeah, I mean, hey, it gets me going. Just another person to beat, I guess. But it is what it is. But yeah, things are going well, man. I'm always good. Always good when we get to talk MLR.
Another person to beat. Always good when we're talking MLR. I don't think I could say it any better than myself with that. But yeah, in this episode, jam-packed show. Got a conversation with Andrew Coe coming up here in just a sec. With talking everything from when we spoke to him last in terms of an update of his rugby career, in terms of, again, fantasy MLR, and then everything in between when it comes to what he thinks about for the upcoming season, the California Legion, kind of outlook at the development rugby of there, the CBA, whole bunch of stuff that we talked about. So again, that's coming up in just a bit. We'll obviously go over the latest signings. Maddie, it seems like the one team that you love so much in the California Legion is the team that is continuing to play a little bit of catch up here as other teams continue to announce their rosters and get closer to that final list that we will see here in just over a month's time. So go over all that news and obviously talk a little bit of betting as we continue to warm up our chops for the start of our TFR betting challenge for the MLR season. So with that being said, if you are ready, at the Fantasy Ruckers, handles up above. If you're watching on the YouTube video, down below in the description, and join our Discord community, main communication platform for our show and for Fantasy MLR. And of course, you want to like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. Check out our past interviews. Will Hooley was a guy that we had on recently, whole bunch of other players. And again, like Andrew Coe coming up here. Always have fun guests coming up, and you'll be first to know if you're following us at thefantasyruckers.com or at the Fantasy Ruckers. And then check out thefantasyruckers.com, the official platform for Fantasy MLR here on the Fantasy Ruckers Show. All right, Maddie, with that being said, Special Commissioner Yee's League update with a special featuring guest, Andrew Coe. All right, hear ye, hear ye. Here is Supreme Commissioner Yee with a Fantasy Ruckers League update. And Maddie, you've been saying for a long time how you've been dreading this part of the show where you feel like I don't have anything good to say
I
or any good
don't.
news to
I
give
think
to
you
the
just
people when
come
it
up
comes to
with
Fantasy
stuff. You
MLR.
just come up with
No,
stuff.
no. All comes from the bottom of my heart, of course. And this
Mm.
week is no different. And I think this is something that people will like to maybe tune in for and hear a little bit of an update. But we got a long time friend of the show, like I mentioned, Maddie, to start off this show, joining us here. And it's been a while since we've last had him on. I think it
Mhm.
was late last year, I want to say, where we kind of recapped the entirety of the season and was kind of speculating on what could come here in 2026. But no less, to give us an update, we bring on Andrew Coe. And Andrew, I don't say a team attached to your name because you're one of the updates that has not come through down the wire yet, Coe. And maybe there are some longtime fans that are maybe a little bit curious. But hey, why don't we start off by how has the last past few months been for you since we last spoke to you last, and what's the update, man?
Yeah, it's good. It's been interesting. I started a job. I'm living up in Vancouver. So many uh, changes to the MLR season with domestic versus international. Not that that had any sway in my decision, but yeah, I'm hanging them up more or less. I'm still playing club rugby up here in Vancouver, but no more MLR for me.
Mm. Well, hey, obviously, like I mentioned, longtime MLR guy, and hey, we were joking about it. Always out there to maybe field some of the calls if there is
Oh
a
yeah.
team, a player needy team, I guess, out there. You're hitting those stages, Co, where you're now what, like the for hire kind of like mercenary, where
Yeah,
now, hey,
Mm,
you've
exactly.
been in the
yeah.
league long enough. If there's an extra piece that maybe a team needs to get them over the hump, maybe you're the one.
Injuries happen. I won't commit to a week. I don't know if I'll come down for a week, whatever team. But if I'll pull up on a Saturday morning if you need me to play Saturday afternoon.
There you
Right.
go.
What
There
about
you go.
championship
And hey,
Saturday?
we were talking off camera there about how you're still staying in shape though, playing for the old boys
Yeah,
out there in BC. You said that you just recently took on Maddie's alma mater and your alma mater in UBC.
yeah. It's good. It's you know it's tough not going back to the MLR, especially right now. I just got a text from the guys down at the Legion now. Been interesting to say, but
Mm.
they just got in and they're getting settled in down there. So it's tough to see preseason starting, but you never out of rugby really. I'm playing locally. I'll
Me and
always
Matt would
support
beg to
it.
differ. We were quite out of rugby right now, but
No, but you guys are doing this, like you guys are still involved around it. I'll always be involved and around it as long as I'll live. So the playing days professionally are over, but locally I'm still playing, and I'll always be a fan of the sport too.
Wait,
Always.
did you beat UBC?
Yeah, come on, Matt.
there you go.
No, it was a good
Um,
game though. It was a tough game. It's funny being like when you're playing with UBC, and Maddie, I'm sure you
Yeah.
felt this as well. All the other clubs seem to hate playing UBC. They're like
Right?
these kids, like they go extra hard, like they're like what? And now I'm on the other side, and totally get it. I'm like these friggin' kids are just running around out here. They're so fast and strong, and like yeah, it's
how
frustrating
how
to
did
play
it
against
feel,
them.
Cody? How did it feel to take the field? Um, for like the first time when it didn't not I don't want to say it didn't mean anything, you know what I mean? But when it
Yeah,
like
yeah.
kind of just was
Whoa.
for fun and not really your livelihood.
Um, it's still rugby at the end of the day. Like once you get out there, I remember because I've played a couple games now for the Ravens. I knew I wanted to play once I stopped. I'll probably play till the wheels fall off. I just need to make my way down from prems to first div and then
Yep.
thirds and then just make.
And
But
then the actual old boys.
yeah, the actual get the red shorts on so no one can tackle me. That's what I need. Um, but once you run out there, it's like you're right back into it. I'm yelling at refs. I'm yelling at everyone else. I'm screaming for the ball. Like I'll try to, do my thing out there. It's you can't take that competitive edge out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Mm.
sure. And I think with you kind of brought up talking to a couple guys from the Legion. Can you reveal
Yeah.
any names that have not been announced that you've been talking to the Legion? Because we're waiting. Because Cal Legion
No,
has around 17 guys on their roster right now.
really,
And
is that the count?
Well,
that's
no,
the
they
count.
Maddie, they give them some cred here. Let's not skew the numbers too much. They're at like 21
Oh,
now.
they can't even
So
field the full side. This is, anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's your thoughts on the whole Cal Legion? At least like being on the other side of things. Like now that you've been a
Yeah.
little bit removed from LA, LA no longer being around. Um, what's your take on all of it and everything?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like I feel like
Neither do we.
the the key to success in this league, as you see the successful teams, you look at Boston, you
Mhm.
look at Seattle. Those teams have been around for a while and they've got good fan bases. They've picked one venue that's usually a smaller venue and they've just built everything around that one venue. So they've got it dialed, right? I think it'll be interesting to see how they do it with, no really home venue. It's just kind of all over
Yeah.
the place. But you know what? I actually got a lot of respect for the organization. I left on my own terms. I knew before last season started that it would be my last year playing. I've got nothing
Mm.
but respect. It's not like I left on bad terms with them or anything. I trust those guys wholeheartedly. And they've got a vision for it. I mean, if you could go all over California and sell out stadiums, like that'd be pretty
Yeah.
sick. It's a bold vision. And if there's a team to do it, it's probably the team over there. You got the Legion name, which is, everyone kind of knows. And I feel like the people who are running LA, I've got nothing but respect for, and I think they've got good business minds themselves. So, go for it.
Yeah. Now, based on my conversations I've had with people, and this includes the conversation I had with Will Hooley a few weeks ago, just about the San Diego, California situation, it does seem like, as much as they're spinning it, obviously with the article that they came out about the growth of rugby in California, there is also a completely valid counter point to that, where it does feel like some of the decisions to go this way, whether it's the venues or having to kind of combine these teams, was a decision that I think was made to make sure that we even had rugby period that was going to exist in California this upcoming season. So I think there was obviously a juggling of both that and trying to figure out. But I think
Yeah.
Chloe, we're on the same side here. And we've said this on the show where it's hard to galvanize one city around a
Yeah. Yeah.
sports team, let alone an entire state. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to say the least.
I like we played one game at that Orange County venue.
Mm,
It's about midway between San Diego and LA, so you can kind of hit both
Mm.
markets. I think that's a really good future for them.
okay.
Also, it'd be really cool seeing. I think they're in Sacramento or something. They're doing Northern Cal. Is that it?
Yeah, they
Or
have Northern California. Well, they got somewhere in Bay Area, I know for sure.
yeah,
Um, and then they're obviously in LA. They're obviously going to San Diego. I think they're like hitting kind of mid, south, north
yeah,
California.
yeah. Fair. That'd be cool to see
Yeah,
rugby in a new spot
I think
as
they
well.
go. Yeah, they're. I mean, they're going. I think they're going around like Sacramento and another venue in Bay Area too. But Ryan,
Any
this
any
has
of
been.
that Coey, any of that LeBron James MLR money that we can pool together here to maybe fund a team to get to go into California or what?
Yeah,
Vancouver
well, I
team?
feel like every year someone brings up how Mark Cuban played rugby in high school, and it's like, well, we got to get Mark Cuban involved.
Yeah, yeah,
Or you
yeah,
could do
yeah.
the old Rugby Canada and try and go on Shark Tank or Dragon's Den and
Mm,
try
Hey,
and
well, hey,
catch the
shout out
money.
to Rugby Canada, who weren't they just recently on there on Dragons Den or something? I
They
think I
were,
saw
they
like
were, yeah.
I think I saw Ben Lesage
wait, did they get the deal?
appearance on that, I feel like.
They get a
Sorry?
deal? They get a deal?
No, 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 not at all. No,
It
they
was
did
worth a
not.
shot.
It was
Worth a
worth a
shot.
shot. It was
Either
an
way.
absolute flyer, but yeah.
Speaking of, I guess, finances and things like that, Koei, I don't know how much you're in the know of that, but CBA reached
Yeah,
an agreement
yeah,
between the MLRPA, or I should just say the US RPA, with an extension of the MLRPA
yeah,
with Major League Rugby in itself, and the both the organization and the Players Association kind of outlined the benefits to this. Just as a player, as part of this league for a long time, just obviously you never got the opportunity to play under one or maybe reap the benefits of one, but
yeah.
what was your kind of initial inkling when you saw that?
Yeah, it was coming down the pipe for a while there.
Yeah.
So we saw it coming. I don't know how it ended up. I have that chat muted. Maybe I should go back and read it. I'm just kind of skipping all over that as soon as I, hung them up. But yeah, I don't know where that ended up. I think it's probably good to have some player rights. The contracts were horrible. They were very
Mm.
skewed towards the
Mm.
owners, just around like who owned the rights to the players. That made no sense. But yeah, I don't know if that was a reason why some of the teams folded as well, because, the union's not really ideal for
Yeah.
the teams. So,
Yeah.
yeah, there's positives and negatives to everything, right? I think from a player's perspective, they've probably got a bit more leverage now, which is good, but you wonder at what cost, right?
I
Yeah.
saw that there was maybe some disciplinary kind of wording, I guess, in there that they added to that. Maybe that would have helped you out with your suspension that you had
Mm.
back in.
Oh, that was insane, dude. That was wild. It was like I've tripped over the guy and it was 7 weeks, and then it ended up getting reduced to 3. But like, guys throw
That's
punches and get 2 weeks, and
yeah,
I'm
crazy.
falling over my own 2 feet and hit somebody. Like, yeah, I think they went that whole season was a bit strange because
What was that, two
Yeah.
years ago?
yeah,
2 years
something
ago?
like that. I don't
No,
know.
3 years. Yeah, 3 years ago,
Two.
maybe.
Uh,
Was it
I
on
can't
LA?
remember.
No, two
I
years
think I
ago. 2 years
was,
ago.
yeah, 2 years ago because I think I was on
Yeah,
LA.
yeah.
But yeah, but I remember JAMA got some outrageous ban as well. It was like a
Mm.
12 week, and then they like halved it, and then yeah, that was pretty whack. I think yeah, they went
Wait,
away from
Um,
that.
haven't I been mad at him because he headbutted Lucas Rumble?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what I thought. The 12 weeks. That feels pretty justified to me.
I
Don't
don't know
touch
what it was
Captain
for.
Canada.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, there was a couple of suspensions where they made the suspension knowing that it'll get reduced when that makes no sense.
uh,
Just make the suspension
yeah.
based off what it is, and if it gets reduced, yeah, that was.
yeah.
I think
Ryan, I
they've
can't
they've gone
believe
away with that. Yeah,
you've gotten away with as long as of a Supreme Commissioner whatever update. This turned into
But
Supreme
I know, without
Commissioner
actually
update
giving
and
the
interview,
update. I
and
know,
you
I
haven't
know.
even
yeah,
said
This
any
is
update
great.
on your side.
It's the long tease.
yeah, that's it.
Jeez.
People are still here listening because they want to hear what Andrew Coe has to say before my stupid ass has anything to say
Yeah,
important at this update. I guess we will get to that. We will get to that update. I do promise. But
You
Coe,
play the
now
trumpets
now
just for fun.
now all of that kind of transpiring here, and you got the CBA, you got obviously the California Legion stuff. We're now down to 6 teams. I guess again, another perfect question for a guy that was formerly in the league and has gone through the waves of what this league is about, from
yeah,
being in New York to then going out to LA and having to deal with all that. We spoke with guys on this show, whether it was Callum Botcher, who went through it with NOLA, whether it was Emerson Pryor with Utah going through that. Seth Smith, we got to speak to when he found out the news was Houston. So we've heard the player perspective, but I guess as someone that's now kind of outside looking in, just your thoughts heading in, not so much because I think we've had the conversation about, obviously not ideal and all those things, but again, we're just over a month away from the start of the season. So, what are your thoughts heading into MLR 2026 specifically, and like the future of what this season is to bring in? What fans should try to take out of it, despite there being, 11 teams last year, now just to 6 teams?
yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see, and I want to notice the level of play because
Mm.
it like every year I played in the league, the level just got better and better and better and better. This year, I don't know if it'll take a step back because of the reduction of international players, or if there's talent spread around less teams. Maybe it'll stay or increase the level of play. So I don't know. I'll be curious to see how that goes. But no, I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty pumped to see kind of a new face of the league. It's fun to be on this side of it, and I can
Hmm.
criticize people, and I can just kind of
Hmm.
say what I want with no, you
There
know
you
what
Yeah.
I
go.
mean?
Now you're on this show. Don't need to tiptoe. All that coach speak and everything that we dealt with. And this is the new uncensored
Yeah.
Andrew Coe now on the Fantasy
Exactly,
Ruckers show.
exactly.
Does it feel?
I don't
It's
have too
therapeutic,
much
right?
new, too much. Yeah, I feel like I kind of let it fly. Maybe held some things back, but I mean, yeah, it'll be
No, no,
fun.
you've always been, all kidding aside, you've always been great with us, and it's been good. So either way, yeah, no, we're excited for the season. Again, 6 teams should be interesting to see kind of how that all plays out. All right,
Yeah.
before we do give everyone the announcement, you want to hear your final MLR numbers or what?
Yeah, yeah,
You want to
yeah,
do
yeah,
like a
yeah.
little expose here of this is Andrew Coe's magnificent 4 year
The
career in the
career,
MLR.
there it
Do we?
is.
Okay,
Let's hear
all
it.
right. So this is all according to friend of the show, James Dealey's North American Rugby database.
Yeah.
We'll get into the fantasy numbers in just a sec because it all ties into there. But um, 4 year season or 4 year career, I should say, Coe. Two on the Ironworkers or Rugby United New York,
Who
whatever you wanted
cares?
to call it at that time,
Yeah, yeah.
and then 2 seasons with RFCLA. 58 total games played.
Wow. You were on the two worst named teams ever.
Um,
Behind
I mean,
just in
Old
front of
Glory is not that good.
Giltinis and friggin' Gilgronis.
Gilgronis, yeah, those are pretty bad.
Um, 58 games played, Co.
Yep.
How many of those do you think you started?
Uh, Honestly, quite a few. 51?
You started 56 out of your 58 games, man. That's pretty,
Really?
yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. Like over the entire, and both of those games were in your rookie season. So
Okay.
from your sophomore year till you hung it up last season, you started every game you started or every game you played in, you were the starter.
Nice.
There you go. Does that feel good?
I guess, yeah.
Um,
Could use a break once in a while is what I'm
yeah,
thinking,
there
you
you go,
know?
right? Um, how many tries do you think you scored in your entire MLR career?
Oh no. Let's go with maybe 7 or 8 a year. So 28.
Oh, pretty close. 24. 24.
24.
Your high was
Mm,
7, and that was tied in your last season with New York and your first season with LA. So 24 total. I didn't know this. You have a conversion.
yes,
Do
I
I?
remember this.
You
I
have a
remember this.
conversion in your rookie year.
I remember we went nuts on this because you were kicking for points.
When
And
was
this was
that? What game
and
was
this
that? My first year. That would be, I don't remember that one. My
and this
one for
goes to
one, am I 100%?
uh I don't know. I just have that you have one good conversion. I don't know if that includes more attempts outside of that, but
Wow.
you did
Let's
get
get
one good
James
one.
Dealey on that. If I'm 100%, I could retire the best
Pop that
kicker
on
in the MLR.
Pop that at the top of your resume. You're an Iron
Yeah.
Man starter and you don't miss kicks apparently.
Sam
Um
Windsor. I'm going to tell Sam Windsor that. Sorry, buddy. I know you're a good kicker, but
no
100%.
penalty kicks though, unfortunately.
Oh,
So
damn.
there's
Damn.
that. But it is that does reflect just how much of degenerates we are on this show. The fact that we got more excited and are more knowledgeable about your one conversion kick in your career than you yourself are actually
Well,
knowing.
I remember
I'm
getting pretty
on
pumped
the
up because I was just getting flashbacks.
I think I'm 0 for 1 on my sevens career. I remember missing a conversion playing sevens, and it was
No.
pretty like right in front of the post too.
You know what they
So
say, you remember the misses more than you do the hits, right?
that's
So
very
it's
true.
Mm,
like it.
If you want to see me kicking though, come out to the Ravens. I'm out there.
All right,
I'm out there
book it
slinging
down.
it at 10. I'm going for posts.
There you
oh
go.
boy.
Let's go.
Back to the old Bill Crothers days. That'd be great.
Exactly.
That'd be
Jeez.
great. Fantastic. Coe, 3,791 minutes played, 4 try assists. You actually tackled all right. 264 tackles. That's not too bad. About
I feel like
your
Rumble
high.
gets that like
See,
every
it's funny
year.
looking at
120,
the numbers of your career
120 a year.
because look at this hot-headed kid making the transition from sevens to pro rugby here in North America. And he's like, oh, I got to show the people I'm tough. 84 tackles, career high in the rookie year. From there, I don't know what happened in your second year, but it must have got to your head because you have that. You didn't even get close to your 80 tackles there. You
To
have
be
40
fair, I
tackles.
don't think that New York team had to tackle too often.
That's true. Had the ball a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I remember there was one year, uh, it was probably the second year in New York. Like our defensive structure was literally centered around if wingers are making tackles, like we're in a bad spot. I'm
Really.
like, "Oh, all right, like
That's
works for
yeah,
me."
music. They never had a coach that told that to me either
Yeah.
way. No, it's pretty cool. And just to round it out, so 130 total points over your career. You were a all MLR honorable mention once in 2025,
Oh,
three-time MLR Team of the Week, 2023 all MLR honorable mention, eighth in MLR meters gained in 2023, and a second team selection in your rookie year, and an MLR champion to round that out.
Let's go.
wow.
Let's go.
That's the
Yeah, I
career of
think
Andrew Coe. That's pretty good
that is not too bad. That is not too bad.
for a
I
for
do.
for a
We,
kid from Markham who loves playing hockey and lacrosse, found this
yeah,
sport called
yeah.
rugby, and has taken it all the way.
You know, it's been awesome actually being pseudo retired,
Yeah.
uh, playing hockey again.
No, are
Mm,
you hitting up the
Like,
beer league?
oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah,
let's
it's been
go.
awesome.
There you go. I've been wanting to ramp that up for a long, long time,
Yeah.
and haven't made the jump yet. But we're getting there.
Well, hey, we
I
did it
think
once. Last time I got a stick to the face.
yeah, last time me and Maddie were playing a beer league, and this was just before COVID. We were wearing the visors, and
Yeah.
Maddie gets a stick in the face, bleeding everywhere. Mom was not happy about that.
Oh, I bet. I
Yeah.
bet.
All right. So the reason why we have Koei on the show is not to reminisce about the good old days and necessarily try to get his head too big here on the show, but we are going to humble him a little bit because
Mm,
if anyone knows the world of fantasy sports, it is one that is, what are some of the words, Ko? Unforgiving, relentless, make you
Yeah.
feel pretty stressed.
Yeah.
Obviously, Andrew dabbles in the fantasy football variety. Is there any others you play, or football's the main one?
No, football's kind of the only one. I tried hockey, it was too much.
Yeah.
yeah.
NRL is actually pretty fun. I've done
NRL.
that.
He's pulling out the NRL cards here. I'm thinking he's gonna come out with basketball, baseball. It comes out with NRL. That makes
No, no.
that makes me saying that fantasy MLR is niche. Fantasy NRL. This guy is friggin'
It's pretty
making
fun.
up.
It's pretty fun.
There you go. Well, hey, so now that Koei has officially, I guess, pseudo, we're saying for now, retired again, the mercenary concept here. If there's an MLR team that's hunting for a championship come April or May, hey, Andrew Coe here is ready to
Exactly.
score a few game-winning tries for you. But until then, he's going to be shoring up his number skills and his data analytics by playing maybe a little bit of fantasy MLR. So, Koei, you have told us that it is official. You will be participating in Fantasy MLR in 2026 in our OG league, taking
Love
on
that.
some of the biggest names in MLR content creation. Ko, what's your thoughts right now? We're a month away from the start of the MLR season. Instead of training and warming up for opening weekend, you will be figuring out who you're going to be drafting number
Yeah.
one
It's
overall.
a different type of training, you know. I've got to
Right.
do my stats. I've got to, text everyone and be like, "How's everyone feeling?" I get the inside scoop.
That's what, yeah,
Yeah,
Vandy's worried about that. He'll have a message for you in just a sec about
yeah.
that. But yeah, man.
No, I'm pumped. I'm pumped. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm curious to see how it goes. I feel like I'm either going to be really good or horrible.
Mm,
Well, it took what, Vandy 5 years to win a championship.
Yeah,
And this is coming from a guy who never knew how to play rugby when he first
yeah.
started this show. So,
I
hey, it's
don't want
possible.
I don't want to win. I just want to beat Vandy. I think that's
Okay, there you go.
okay.
Well, okay, speaking of that, I got a chance to talk with Vandy a little bit earlier on, and shared with him the exciting news that the Andrew Coe, the guy that he says he's told me verbatim, he wished he drafted you last season. He still won the championship without you. Still says he would have drafted you if he should have in hindsight 2020. This is what he had to say to you about any words of advice he has for fantasy MLR. You got 20, 30 seconds here, Vandy, to share a words of wisdom, share chirping words, whatever floats your boat here to our newest member of the Fantasy Ruckers League and going to experience what is the new pain that is fantasy MLR. Vandy, the floor is yours.
Well, Cole, it's nice to have you here, bud. Did pick you last year. Should have picked you. Still won, but still should have picked you. Now, glad I didn't. I will love womping you. Probably. I hope we play week one. I'll look forward to it. With my new role, they've given me responsibilities, anti-cheating policies. If I see
Oh.
one drop that does not make sense to me, that's two strikes, and you only get three. So you
I
really
don't
only
know
get
who
two things.
bestowed that rule to you, Vandy. You're the rule czar now, the Fantasy Ruckers rule czar. Is that what you are?
I don't know. I'm just a loud voice, so I mean, if I say it every episode, somebody's gonna have to do something eventually.
There you go. All right. Well, hey, words of wisdom to the one and only Andrew Coe.
Oh,
Obviously,
let me
long
finish
time.
with. Let me finish with. Super excited to have you here.
Mhm.
But hey, if we're gonna do a little insider trading, hey, me, buddy. You help
I
me.
will not
You help me.
have
No
any of that.
strikes. You
And that
help
is
Matt.
where
Matt, three strikes. You help Ryan. We don't mention Andrew Coe again. You turn into Voldemort.
there you go. I said I didn't say it. It was Vandy, not me. So obviously he's way ahead of you
Wow.
there, Coe. He's like, none of that insider trading stuff. I'm not getting. I'm not. If I see any funny business, we're calling it out. So no, but I thought he was happy. He was stoked. Obviously a guy that has been learning rugby through fantasy MLR, and obviously to be able
Yeah.
to meet guys that have been playing this league, and then now knowing that he's going to take you head on, he's pretty
Yeah, yeah,
stoked for
yeah. Well, I feel like I won't cheat unless it's to beat Vandy. I think
you. Okay.
I think you
that's what I'll
should
do.
cheat a lot that week, like
Yeah,
the
Fun
yeah, yeah.
entire
caveat
week.
though, this is where you're going to be in a split because of the reduced teams. Uh, Vandy, myself, and Maddie will be sharing one team. So
Oh,
you'll
what the
not
Wow.
heck? I
only
don't want to
just
be
be
cheated
taking
against.
on
Wow. Okay.
not only just taking on Vandy, you'll be taking on us all three.
I could
So
take
whether
all of
that,
you guys down.
there you go, there you go.
Good
For some of
luck.
our listeners, calling us
Your
the three-headed
funeral.
monster.
No, we
No, I'm
came up with
pumped.
this already.
I'm so pumped. It'll be so much fun, guys.
There you go. No, it's no, we're super excited, man. And the fact that we can chat to you from a player's perspective, especially to kind of see how this game plays out, it's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If you then I'll ask, Co, if you had whatever pick this season, where would you be drafting yourself? In the seasons past, where are you
Uh-oh.
where would
Dude,
you have been drafting yourself?
1-1, man. All
1-1,
vibes,
he
Oh,
Steve.
said.
you don't want that. You don't want that, Cole. You don't want 1-1. One
Do you
one's
Uh,
know
cursed.
do you know about the TFR curse?
what? Whoever 1-1 is injured?
Injured,
Just
just
they just
off
fall
the
off the face.
map.
Guess
Hmm.
guess who on your team was 1-1 last year?
Sammy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Year before that, who was it? No, no, no. I mean
Uh,
Ryan. Do you remember who was 1-1 the year
Yeah, it
before that?
was Ed Fido. No,
no.
Joe Mono. Joe Mono.
Joe Mono got hurt.
He didn't. Oh yeah, yeah, he did. He did. He did.
And then Ed Fido the year before that.
And
Yeah.
he didn't play well that year.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Bodine Waka, I think he
Was the
left.
only exception.
Or no, yeah, he was the only one that got picked first and was actually
Damn.
lived up to it.
Yeah,
You don't
not
want to be
good.
1-1, Go. You
You
want to be
don't want to be
1-2.
1-1.
You want to be
Okay.
1-2.
1-2. That's it.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go. Okay, well, when we had you on back in September, this was the moment we had when we asked you about your ranking.
Who would I be around, I think? Like,
You gotta choose a guy you think would be at the top so that you can then work your way down.
I was trying to pick someone who I think I would be around. Uh, I think maybe like give me Noah Brown. Where is he at? I think he had a pretty good season, and I think I'd be somewhere around where he's at.
Noah Brown,
Yeah.
103.3 fantasy points.
and I was
I'm not
wrong.
going to tell you where he's at. I'm not that'd give it too much away. That'd be cheating.
I don't know. Could I be tall? 25.
No way. No way. Stop. Do you have it?
Nah,
You don't.
you're fucking with me.
You got 25. You're overall
No, I
25.
didn't.
No joke. Yeah, you
No
did.
way.
Right on the head. There's no way.
There's no way.
Can you see my
You're
screen?
messing with me now.
No, I'm dead serious.
There's no way, dude.
25.
There's no way.
24
Yep.
was Corey Daniel at 129.8.
Yeah.
26 was Ethan Grayson at 128.3. You're smack dab in the middle at
Crazy,
25.
I guess that.
That is crazy because you cheated last time.
I
don't
swear,
You cheated, Ryan.
I
You
don't
cheated.
I don't think you cheated this time.
I did not cheat this time. That is insane that I got that.
That's crazy. That's great.
That is
25 overall.
insane.
You are right. Now you're on the other side of things. That was the reason why I was bringing that up because now you say you pick yourself 1.2. You guessed yourself 25 on the dot a few months ago.
Yep. 1.2, man. It's all vibes. It's all vibes.
Is that the
You know,
fantasy?
I bring good cohesion to the group. I'm a good team guy, good locker room guy, you know. Have a couple
that
beers
the,
after the game.
The big
Is that
morale
the
high.
fantasy prowess that we have to expect here? Where are we making a bad decision of allowing you to play fantasy MLR?
Probably, but it'll be fun anyways.
There you go. That's all that matters. Well, hey, yeah, super excited. Again, Andrew Coe gets to join the show.
Yeah.
Be able to help us break down things that are going to be happening this year. And we get to do it all through a fantasy lens. Coe will be there drafting. He's going to be there with all of us going through the bane of what is going to be an exciting fantasy MLR season. Vandy got the opportunity, Coe, to say something to you. I will let you to not only send the message back to Vandy, but to anyone out there, whether it's John Fitzpatrick's Rugby Morning, Matt McCarthy of the Rugby Wrap Up, anyone else that has criticized you in the past. Now you have the opportunity to give it right back. What are you saying?
Like, I think they know rugby, but it doesn't count. I've got the guys on my phone. I'll be texting them daily for updates on how's everyone feeling, what's going on. I might get into some coaches' ears. Be like, you should probably play this guy a little bit more.
You're going to get 6 pictures of starting lineups in your phone every week.
That is crazy. It's
100%.
It's like, you know, in the casinos when the guy's too good at blackjack and the security guy comes up. It's like, all right, it's time to leave. We can't do anything about it, but it's time to go. We're going to be sitting here in MLR's week 6. Coe's going to come on the show and we're like, you know, Coe, it was a good idea that you came and it was fun while it lasted, but I think it's time to go.
Yeah.
So it's all good. But no, we're looking forward to it, man. Again, we'll have you on the show again sometime soon. But
sure.
yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're super stoked you got to be involved.
I'm looking forward to it. Is there a group chat? Am I on the group chat?
Well, we'll get you on the chat.
Oh,
when the people hear that, you'll get it.
Okay, sweet.
There you go. All right. Well, appreciate
thanks,
it,
guys. Yeah, appreciate it. We'll be in touch. I'll be on shortly.
All right. Well, thanks again to new TFR league member
Andrew
Coe. Sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. Who will be participating in his first fantasy MLR season. Maddie, you got to be pretty stoked for that, huh?
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said at the start of the show, just another person to beat. But I mean, look, it's I think it's cool that we're able to be on a team together, and I think we all get to collectively beat Andrew Coe. I think he's going to find out just how tough fantasy MLR is.
Yes. And again,
I think it's gonna take 2 weeks till he resorts to cheating. There's no way he's gonna figure out. He's gonna get impatient waiting for the things. He's gonna have stuff to do, and he's just
those inside sources scare me. The fact that he's going to be texting up, like I'm just thinking of any of his old RFCLA buddies, and just hey, well, what are we looking at here?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting, and hey, you'll be able to participate in the action as well, and partake in fantasy MLR, whether it's your second, third, fourth season or your first season, like Andrew Coe. The sign up right now is available. Link to do that is down below. Sign up, fill out all the details, and we are going to slot you in a fantasy Ruckers league here to play fantasy MLR this upcoming season. With that being said, Maddie, let's get to the news.
News dump.
All right, TFR episode 180 news dump. Signings to talk about, a couple pieces of news to go over as well. Let's get the signings out of the way first, Maddie, here. Again, like I mentioned at the start of the show, California Legion playing catch up, announcing 5 new signings here over the course of the past week. And it does seem like we have a clearer picture on who may be the 10 here for the Legion here this upcoming season. But let's
Mm,
go over the 5 player list that now brings up the California Legion total to 21. So joining a
congrats.
bunch of names that have been added, we now can add Maake Muti to the list, front rower US eligible prop, Alex Lepetti, front row hooker from NOLA going to California Legion, Maake Moody from Miami, and then another front rower in Michael Scott going to the California Legion
No
from the Houston
relation.
SaberCats. And then here, the fly half side of things, Matt Antichev from RFCLA going to fly half. But I think the name that we'll probably talk about the most here, especially from a fantasy sense, Stephen Crimp from San Diego signing with the Legion, the U.S. eligible Welsh fly half, appeared and the starting 10 position for the home stretch of the San Diego Legion season. And it does appear that as of right now, he leads the depth chart for the California Legion.
Yeah, I mean, look, Crimp came on to the scene a little bit later in the year.
Hmm.
Uh, but man, was he pretty solid. I think it'll still be interesting. Like Matt Antonchep, I think definitely had his moments and has had his moments over the past couple of years that he's been playing. And they're both young. So it'll be interesting to see. Again, my first glance at this roster is like I look at this back line and I think they're the worst out of all 6 teams still, with all the announcements that they've made.
That's that's the analysis. Nothing is going to convince you here.
What were you waiting for?
No, no, it's just that's it. It's just
That's it. What do you? I'm telling the truth. You look at it, and
okay.
they're bang on average. Like,
Uh, that is funny. I do agree. I think I was holding out hope that there would maybe be a interesting name that maybe would kind of have that wow factor here. But again,
mm,
Stephen Crimp's been in the league. He has shown that he's been impactful here. He's did that both at the fullback position and at the fly half position for the San Diego Legion. Again, Anticheva, up and coming star. Maddie, you mentioned both young. Um,
yeah,
but it
and
does
he's
leave, I
yeah.
guess, a little bit of uncertainty at what is a premium position.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Crimp will end up starting. Antichev last year didn't really get on the field too much and was always off the bench. And it was the year before that where he had a couple steady starts. But yeah, Crimp, I think, will be the starter here. I mean, I think the only thing that you can really be happy about uh, as a guy is that maybe this is like having a clear starter. That's going to be a nice to have
Yeah.
when you're thinking about being a fantasy manager. Like, Stephen Krim started the last 3 games of the season at 10. He got 16 minutes, 15 minutes, 60 minutes. Do they split time? I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But um, I agree with you. I think Crimp is probably the starter here. So fantasy managers can be looking at that pretty nicely.
Worst fly half room in the league, would you
Yes.
say, by far?
I mean, Chicago's right there with them. Not better than New England. Not better than Old Glory. Not better than
Like for me,
Seattle.
it's probably
So,
between Anthem and California. And I think the experience of
oh, I
Cardi
guess
gives Anthem the upper edge.
I forgot Anthem. I mean, I would put maybe Anthem's the worst. Uh, Cal Legion Anthem. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Cal Legion is worse. Probably goes Legion, Anthem, Hounds, Old Glory, Seattle, and New England.
All right. Well, Stephen Crimp last season, from a fantasy standpoint, scored a total of 55.2 fantasy points in the 7 games that he appeared in. Started 6 of them, 3 at fullback, 3 at fly half, and closed out the year with the Legion at the fly half positions in 3 straight weeks. So, yeah, should be interesting to see the impact especially from a fantasy sense. Because again,
Yeah.
Maddie may not be the most talented fly half in the league, but opportunity is there, and that is going to be valuable for anyone fantasy wise looking to have a guy that they can depend on each and every week to put into that halfback position.
Yeah, for sure. But let's get to
Um,
the more exciting announcements of rosters.
yes. Moving on to, I guess, the team that is still rounding out. They're the other team that has not officially announced their squad. New England did announce their squad within the last week. Again, we had that list of players tracked, and it's no one shocking or brand new from that. It is a new New England Free Jacks team that does have a few less Canadian players and some interesting new names at some very important positions, i.e., Joel Hodgson. But again, nothing that was quite surprising. But Seattle, as we continue to see them come in, a guy that we've been familiar with this roster each and every year. When it does come to Seattle, there might be new names elsewhere, but this guy, Riekert Hatting, has been with Seattle since day one, and he is coming back here for another season for a guy that continues, from a fantasy sense especially, to be very impactful. And I would imagine is going to be one of those top tier back row players that are going to be selected in our fantasy drafts.
Well, maybe if it was juiced up padding, then yeah, it would be. But not so juiced up padding is not necessarily at the top of the back row list when we look at things. Over the past couple of years, you're not getting the same Hatting that you did a few years ago, and I mean, he is down on the list to where you'd think he'd be probably what top 20, Ryan, somewhere up there.
Yep.
So look, I think it's great that Seattle's bringing him back. I think fantasy wise, don't get too caught up in the name. He should be a mid round back rower.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely a guy that for his value, because I think it has taken off or dropped off a little bit here. I don't think obviously guys are going to be taking him how
His
they were taking
value,
him a few
his
years back.
value is that he's going to be starting. There is
Yes.
no, there's no nothing else unless he's injured. He will be starting.
That
Um, and that's a great security to have as a fantasy manager.
All right. Let's talk and continue the conversations with Seattle, but outside of a roster standpoint here, Maddie, unless you had any other roster announcements you needed to take
No, I
care of.
thought the segue was New England, but I guess the segue is to Seattle.
No,
That's
I
cool
mean New
too.
England. Is there anyone on that roster that stood out to you? I mean, we've talked about most of
I
these
mean, I
guys.
didn't realize how young a lot of the Kiwis are that were coming over from New Zealand. So uh, they must have some connection there. That'll be awesome. I think we've seen a lot of success with young New Zealanders coming over and playing in the MLR. So that'll be really interesting, especially that second row room. One guy I do want to call out is just Keenan Higgins. He just signed a short-term contract with Edinburgh and is brothers to Riley Higgins, who is on the Hurricanes. So I mean, we talked about last week who's in this New England Free Jacks back three, and maybe we're going to see a lot of these new guys. Nathan Salmon, a young guy coming from New Zealand, these
Mhm.
young guys that are going to come in and make a really big impact, similar to how young guys in the league have made impacts like Michael Manson and stuff like that. So, yeah, that was kind of just the one thing I wanted to touch, and then love the Ethan McVeigh signing. Love the fact that the Wilson brothers are playing together. So yeah, I like all that.
Yeah, and I will note that the New England Free Jacks are also the team that has approached this offseason with the most non-MLR veteran signings. Like
Mm.
Chicago really took the approach of going in there, and they have obviously the Theo Furry signing, but they went in and their approach was let's snatch up all this loose talent here, like the names of Tavit Lopetti, Santiago Videla, Jason Till, guys that have been around the league. And then you see New England's approach, who they've done that as well with the additions of Fa Nana Schultz, Joel Hodgson, McVie, Bailey Wilson, like you mentioned. But yeah, a total of 5, 7, 10 guys on my list that I have here that are going to be making their first MLR appearances here this upcoming year, which is quite a significant number, especially for the team that is coming off of back to back to back MLR championships.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So.
mean, whatever they're doing, they know what they're doing. So yeah, there's only one thing time will tell.
All right, so then now going to the Seattle Seawolves here. From an outside of roster standpoints, the Seawolves announced that they will actually be having a preseason tour in South Africa with the
Nice.
Stormers, and that this is the type of stuff that I'd love to see, right? This is the type of stability and type of partnerships with other rugby around the world that I think benefits the US and MLR by such a grand scale, because some of these guys get to experience something that they would have never experienced, right? And
Mhm.
to basically learn how to be a professional rugby player in one of the, if not the top league in the world. And the Seawolves organization is going to learn that when they're out there in South Africa dealing with the Stormers.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think tours are awesome. Like Ryan, like tours are what bring teams
Hmm.
together. Tours are what bring you bring up different weaknesses in your game that you didn't think about before. Tours are the way that you kind of find your identity, not just on the field, but as a culture. So yeah, I love this. I think this just backs my hot take from earlier in the year that these guys are going to win the championship this year.
There we go. There we go. And lastly, let's wrap up this news dump segment by talking about where we're going to be playing a final here in a handful of months away. But I think this is definitely the earliest that we've ever had something like this solidified here in Major League Rugby. And that is the announcement that following the 11-week regular season, the MLR Championship will be hosted in Chicago. And that is coming off of a season in 2025 where it was hosted in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Maddie, myself, and Bill Baker's American Rugby Rising was on site covering that firsthand. It was a great experience and had a lot of fun. But the championship is returning to the place that it was held in 2023, SeatGeek Stadium in Chicago, where they also play host to the Chicago Stars FC, National Women's Soccer League, Chicago Fire FC, second team of the MLS Next Pro. A great venue, and great that they announced it so early on for fans to start now setting aside plans here for when they need to head out to that matchup their Father's Day weekend.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Chicago, I heard nothing but good things about the Big Diesel in
Yeah, I knew you were
Chicago
going to
at the
mention
time.
that.
So yeah, there's a reason why they're going back, right? So I'm looking forward, and it's still staying relatively close to where somewhere we can meet in the middle, and it's also relatively close to where Seattle is in comparison to Pawtucket, which means
So we're going there already.
the league already knows what's up.
There you go. There you go. All right, Maddie. Well, let's wrap up the show here talking a little bit about other rugby happening around the world and whether or not you can continue your hot streak of
I'm
getting
on a
those
heater.
picks pretty dang close.
TFR Betting Challenge.
All right, time for our TFR betting challenge. Maddie is on a heater. We're talking Super Rugby, Six Nations. Maddie is hitting it all right at the right time, over a month away from MLR picks, where we're going to put our money where our mouths are and have our
Yeah,
TFR betting challenge where Vandy, Maddie, and I hear even Andrew Coe may even get on the action of
you
seeing
know,
who is the sharpest when it comes to betting on the MLR. So, Maddie, what do you want to start with?
I thought I was on a heater, but then I just looked at the round two scores for Super Rugby, and I think I only got one right. So let's quickly glance over that. Just know that for Six Nations, I got everything. I hit everything. I knew what was up. Let's start with Super Rugby. Let's finish off with Six Nations.
All right, let's go down the list here. We kick off the weekend. Western Force at Moana Pacifica. Maddie, the line.
Force favored by 18 and a half.
These are my favorite ones when it is like out of the blue. And I feel bad for putting you on the spot, but no, Western Force is the underdog by 4.5.
Honestly, that's not too out of the blue. Moana's a sweet team. They did just take a
You
beating,
just
by the way.
said Western Force
I know,
favored by.
but I thought that's what the books would say. The books don't treat Moana and Drua with respect, but
Okay, all
Moana
right.
deserves the respect. And you know what? I would take Moana as the favorites. Cover that
Four and a
spread
half. They
for
cover.
4.5. I think
All
they
right.
can do it.
Highlanders at Reds.
Highlanders favored by, they just came off a close loss to the Chiefs. Highlanders favored by 12.5.
No, Highlanders underdogs, 2.5.
Okay, I'm struggling this week, but I'll take Highlanders to cover that any day and win.
Okay. Any chance that you'd pick the Highlanders to
Yep,
outright win?
yep,
You'd pick that. All right.
yep.
That money line right now is at plus 150 for the
Mhm.
Highlanders winning outright. All right. That's followed up by Hurricanes at Fiji and Drua.
Yeah, Hurricanes favored by 17 and a half.
Hurricanes favored by 12.5.
Wow. I think Hurricanes cover that, but I'd stay away from that one. Drew can pull out a win any day of the week.
Okay. Crusaders at Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs are favored.
Yes.
Probably by what, 5.5?
8.5.
Yeah. Yeah, Crusaders came off a tough one. I think this is going to be close, though. I think Crusaders can cover 8.5.
Okay. Blues at Brumbies.
Blues favored.
Blues underdogs
Blues underdogs by 2.5.
by 6.5.
By 6.5. Yeah, yeah, this is a tough one. I wouldn't trust any of my picks on this one because I'm clearly off. Although I do think Crusaders can definitely cover 8.5, and I definitely think the Highlanders have a chance. But I like that Crusaders covering that.
Okay. And then we'll wrap up here by Six Nations. Friday
I nailed this
afternoon,
last week. I nailed it. I
Wales
just
at
want people to
Ireland.
know. Yeah, Ireland's what, favored by 22.5?
26.5. Not bad.
Damn. I mean Wales just came off a close one with Scotland. Now Ireland played their hearts out against England and won by a lot. I think Ireland can cover that. I'd just stay away from this one. Just stay away from it. I think Ireland can cover that.
All right. France at Scotland.
Yeah, that's tough. France favored by I don't know what 21.5.
France 10.5 favorites.
Dude, I think Scotland can only 10.5 favorites.
Only
Dude,
10.5
I'm
favorites.
taking France then. That's easy. At 10 points, France.
10.5 points. France just got to win by 11. You like that one?
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay. And last to wrap up the week, England at Italy.
What? England's favored by 12 and 15.5.
9.5.
9.5. Yeah, I think England can cover that. They're coming off a pretty rough loss to Ireland. I think they can cover that.
Okay. But it sounds like your favorite of the week is going to be France covering that 10.5 over Scotland.
Yeah, from Super Rugby, it's going to be Crusaders covering that 8.5 against the Chiefs. For Six Nations, it is France covering that over Scotland. Yep.
All right. There we go. Well, hey, TFR betting challenge as we continue to get warmed up here for the start of some action here for MLR. Gonna have Vandy, myself going head to head, Maddie telling us why or why not we're making good picks.
Yep.
Maybe even an appearance from now Andrew Coe, who's now dabbling in fantasy MLR this year. Maddie, before I close out the show, do you have any messages for Vandy? Anything you want to wrap up your thoughts on here as we close out another episode?
Just miss you, man. I didn't even hear the radio. I didn't even get to hear your voice. Didn't even hear the message. I don't know if people could tell, but I couldn't hear anything. Just miss you, dog. Just come back sometime. Maybe we'll we'll get rid of time zones so that we can come back.
So we can come back. That sounds pretty dang good to me. And yeah, super excited for Andrew Coe to be joining us for Fantasy MLR this 2026 season. Again, sign up to do that. If you want to join Andrew and all the others playing Fantasy MLR this year, you can do that down below. Link in the description to take you to a Google form. Fill out those details and we'll make sure to get you slotted. For Matt Yee, for Devin Vandy Vanderpool, I am Ryan Yee and we'll see you next week. Another episode of the Fantasy Ruckers Show.
Love you, Vandy.
You've been listening to the Fantasy Ruckers Show, bringing fantasy rugby to the masses, covering everything rugby from the MLR and beyond. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review, and be sure to tell all your friends. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, connect with us on social media at the Fantasy Ruckers. Till next time, this is the Fantasy Ruckers Show, signing off.